What we watched from the Yankees was nothing short of embarrassing. I mean, we're talking about a team that got humiliated on the biggest possible stage. Game 5 of the World Series, in front of the entire country, and somehow, absolutely, nothing was learned from it. Not one lesson, not one adjustment, just the same sloppy, uninspired baseball we've been forced to watch all season long. And after a performance like this last one against Toronto, it really feels like the team has hit a new low, not just in terms of how they're playing, but in how little they seem to care. Coming into this game, the Yankees had an opportunity. If they could have pulled off a win, they would have taken out of 3 from the Blue Jays without even playing their best baseball. That would have been a huge statement heading back to the Bronx, with only a 2-game deficit in the division. But instead, what did they do? They dropped the game in humiliating fashion. Now, the gap is for games, and honestly, the way this team looks right now, that's a gap that feels almost impossible to close. It's not just that they lost. It's how they lost. Sloppy, flat, undisciplined. 4 errors, 4. And that doesn't even count the other plays that could have easily been ruled errors. If the official scorer had decided to be a little more honest, it was pathetic. And look, I don't want to kill guys who have otherwise been solid this year. Cody Bellinger, for example, but losing a routine pop-up in the sky. That's the kind of play you expect to see in a little league game. Not from one of the highest-paid rosters in baseball. Ben Rice booting a grounder at first base. A play that 9 out of 10 high school players would make. Jason Dominguez, who has actually been really solid in left field overall, just drops a fly ball like he forgot how to use a glove. It was a total defensive collapse. And what's worse, it's not even surprising anymore. It's just what this team does now. We've had moments this season, flashes where you think, hey, maybe this is the turnaround point. Maybe this is when they wake up. Like that Ben Rice home run a few games back, or Judge tying the game with a bomb, or a big play in a tight game against the Mets. But no, every time this team looks like it might be finding its rhythm, they just throw it right back in their own faces. There's no consistency, no energy, no focus. It's like they don't even understand the weight of the games they're playing. And now they're heading home to face a red-hot Phillies team. We're talking about a team that just dominated the Red Sox and will throw out Ranger Suarez and Zach Wheeler, 2 of the nastiest arms in the National League, in this upcoming series. And the Yankees, they're limping back into the Bronx, having played one of their worst games of the season, if not the decade. Let me put it this way. At one point during that disaster in Toronto, the Yankees had more errors than hits. More errors than hits. They finished with 5 hits, so they avoided that ultimate embarrassment. But even getting close to that threshold is a complete disgrace. And what's worse is this isn't a one-time thing. This has been happening over and over again. A team with this much payroll, this much talent on paper, and they can't field a basic ground ball or stay focused for 9 innings. We've said it before, and it's still true. You cannot give extra opportunities to teams like the Blue Jays. You just can't. They don't need the help. They're built to capitalize on mistakes, and they will punish you every single time you open the door for them. The Yankees gave away for extra outs, and honestly, there were probably 2 or 3 more that should have counted as errors. That's how bad it was. And on the other side, Toronto was clean, sharp, professional. The Blue Jays were everything the Yankees weren't. And that's not just frustrating, that's embarrassing. When one team looks like a machine and the other looks like they're still learning which hand the glove goes on, it's hard to defend anything that's happening on that field, honestly. Watching this team right now feels like watching a group of kids who just learned how to play baseball last week. They're sloppier than a T-ball team, and that's not even an exaggeration. At least T-ball kids hustle. At least they show some effort. These guys look like they're just going through the motions. There's no accountability, no urgency, no spark, and that's the part that hurts the most. Because we've all seen what happens when the Yankees are locked in. We've seen how good they can be, but this version of the team, this is not a playoff team. This isn't even a team that deserves to sniff October. The worst part is, it feels like the people running the team don't even care. They're just coasting. The players don't look motivated. The coaches aren't holding anyone accountable, and management acts like everything is fine. And it's not fine. You were embarrassed in the World Series, and instead of learning from that loss, you somehow got worse. The same issues that crushed them on baseball's biggest stage are still happening. If anything, they've become more frequent, more glaring, more painful to watch, and it begs the question, what exactly did this team do in the offseason? Because they clearly didn't spend that time fixing the things that lost them a championship. Since the last time they faced Toronto, they've gone from leading the division to trailing by 4 games. That's not a small gap, not at this stage of the season. That's massive, and they've already lost the season series to the Blue Jays. So even if they somehow manage to sweep them in September, which is highly unlikely, they'd still finish with a losing record against them. That's unacceptable. You cannot play this badly against teams in your own division. Those games are supposed to be battles. They're supposed to mean something. But instead, the Yankees are handing them away like they don't matter. And look, the Blue Jays are a smart, well-constructed baseball team. They have a plan. Their game plan against the Yankees is simple. Put the ball in play. Let them beat themselves. And it's working. It's the same strategy the Dodgers used in the World Series. And you know what? It keeps working. That's on management. That's on leadership. That's on roster construction. You have teams building blueprints specifically to exploit your weaknesses. And you're doing nothing to address it. At some point, someone's got to be held responsible. This isn't about one bad night or one bad series. This is about a culture problem, a motivational issue. A team that carries itself like it's already accomplished something, when the truth is, they haven't won anything in a long, long time. We always hear about the glory days for titles in 5 years. The golden era, the dynasty. That's over to decades ago. What has this team done since then? 1 title into decades. That's not a dynasty. That's not greatness. That's mediocrity, dressed up in pinstripes. And yet, the Yankees act like they're still the kings of baseball, like just wearing the uniform is enough. It's not. You have to earn that respect every single day. And right now, this team is not earning anything. They're coasting, just trying to sneak into the playoffs and hoping they get hot at the right time. That's not a championship mentality. That's not what the Yankees used to be about, but it is what they've become. Meanwhile, other teams around the league are taking full advantage of the fact that half the league is just going through the motions. You've got teams like the Phillies, Dodgers, and even the Mets spending big, playing hard, and dominating the mid-level competition. And why wouldn't they, when teams like the Yankees are content to coast on reputation? That's a gift for everyone else. Less competition, more wins. And it's hard to believe Hal Steinbrenner when he says they're doing everything they can to win, because if that were true, Brian Cashman wouldn't still be in charge. He's been there since the 90s. Every other team in the league has gone through multiple G-Miz since then. But not the Yankees. And why? Loyalty. Comfort. It makes no sense. The team is clearly broken. And no one at the top seems willing to make the necessary changes. Yes, they spend money. Yes. The payroll is massive, but the money is being spent poorly. You can't just throw cash at the wrong players and expect to win. You need vision. You need accountability. And right now, this organization has neither. It's not about how much you spend. It's about how you spend it. And the Yankees, they're wasting money on bad contracts, poor fits, and a culture that rewards complacency. This team plays like it doesn't care. The manager acts like nothing is ever wrong. The players keep making the same mental mistakes. And fans, we're just supposed to keep clapping, keep showing up, keep buying the jerseys. Like we don't see what's happening. It's insulting. We pay attention. We know the game, and we know when a team has quit on itself. That's what it feels like. A slow-motion collapse, being dressed up as a playoff push after the disaster in Toronto. It became painfully obvious that this team has no leadership. None. And we saw that perfectly play out when both Aaron Boone and Matt Blake got tossed from the game. Now, the umpiring was bad, no doubt. But even when Boone tried to fire the team up by getting thrown out, nothing happened. No spark. No change. Nothing. In fact, if anything, they got worse after he left. An error followed almost immediately. So if that's supposed to be some sort of emotional turning point, it failed miserably. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Is the Giancarlo Stanton era in New York finally coming to an end? Rumors are swirling across Major League Baseball circles that the New York Yankees are close to trading their star slugger to the Seattle Mariners, sparking a potential seismic shift in both franchises. The murmurs have picked up steam in recent days, with insiders suggesting that the Yankees are ready to move on from Stanton after several seasons marked by flashes of brilliance mixed with frustrating injuries and inconsistent performance. Giancarlo Stanton, once one of the most feared power hitters in the league, has had a roller coaster tenure with the Yankees. Acquired with high expectations, his time in New York has been punctuated by jaw-dropping home runs and highlight reel plays, but also by struggles to stay healthy and maintain the MVP-level dominance he once displayed. As Stanton enters a new phase of his career, whispers around MLB hint that the Yankees might be eyeing a younger, more versatile roster composition and thus see trading Stanton as an opportunity to reset and retool. On the other side, the Seattle Mariners appear poised to add a genuine slugger to their lineup, a move that could instantly electrify their fanbase and bolster their offensive firepower. The Mariners, who have been quietly building a competitive team in the Pacific Northwest, could benefit immensely from Stanton's experience and power presence. Bringing in a veteran like Stanton could also signal the Mariners' intention to make a serious push in their division, adding a marquee name capable of shifting momentum in tight games. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the deal suggest the discussions are well underway, with talks reportedly focused on the financial logistics and player exchanges that would make this blockbuster trade a reality. For the Yankees, offloading Stanton might also be a strategic financial move, freeing up salary space and allowing them to pursue other targets in free agency or via trade. For Stanton himself, a fresh start in Seattle could revitalize his career, offering a new ballpark and a fresh environment where he might recapture the elite form that once made him one of the best hitters in baseball. Fans on both coasts are buzzing with speculation. New York supporters are divided, some feeling it's time to say goodbye to a player who never quite reached his full potential in pinstripes. Others reluctant to lose a slugger with the capability to change the course of a game with one swing. Meanwhile, Mariners fans are hopeful and excited, imagining the thunderous cheers that could greet Stanton as he steps up to the plate in Safeco Field. As the rumor mill continues to churn, all eyes remain glued to official announcements. Could this be the end of an era for Stanton in New York and the dawn of a new chapter in Seattle? If the trade goes through, it would not only reshape the Yankees roster, but also add a fascinating new storyline to the Mariners' quest for baseball glory. The coming days promise intense speculation, strategic moves, and perhaps one of the most talked about trades of the season. Stay tuned, this baseball saga is far from over. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.